Glad to have you back. You're watching TVC News. The Gambia's new president, Adama Barrow, says the outgoing president, Yahya Jammeh, has agreed to step down. Barrow confirmed on his Twitter handle that the former defiant leader will leave the country on Saturday. Jammeh, who ruled for 22 years, refused to step down after losing the presidential election on December the 1st, 2016. Barrow was sworn in on Thursday at the Gambian embassy in Senegal. And Sabrina Mahtani is a West African researcher with Amnesty International, and she joins us now via Skype to discuss this very latest development. Many thanks for joining us on TVC News.
Thank you so much for having me.
Finally, Jammeh agrees to step down. Why do you think he held out for so long?
It's very difficult to say. We've been documenting Gambia over the past 10 years, and President Jammeh has been a very unpredictable leader. He's been a leader who there's been many human rights abuses during his time, and it's very unclear as to why he took so long to step down. But we are very glad that he has finally agreed on television to do so, although we are still concerned because it's not clear when he'll be leaving, where he'll be going, or what indeed are the terms of his departure.
All right, so let's also look at the different dynamics that could have happened if he continued to be defiant.
Well, of course, I mean, everyone was very concerned that this political impasse would be prolonged and that there would be, bloodshed. ECOWAS troops had gone into Gambia, and there was, deep concern that there could be a conflict. Of course, we are very glad that, that hasn't been the case. Although we want to highlight that, there has been a deterioration in human rights during this political impasse. 4 radio stations were closed down. Several people who were part of a movement called Gambia Has Decided were arrested simply for wearing T-shirts saying Gambia Has Decided. And even military soldiers had been arrested on Sunday. So although we're glad that this has, not been a full-blown conflict, it has been really catastrophic for human rights.
Well, it's good you mentioned the ECOWAS troops because some school of thought believe that the deployment of ECOWAS troops was an invasion of Gambia's sovereignty. What is your take?
I don't really have an opinion on that. I think that's really kind of an international law issue. I do think, though, that of course, this was an ECOWAS decision. The Security Council did pass a resolution giving support to the efforts of ECOWAS. I was actually there at the inauguration ceremony, and he did invite the help of ECOWAS. So I think, later on, perhaps people will sit down and look at all those elements and make a decision about how they term it in terms of international law.
All right. Now he will be seeking asylum in another country. Will Amnesty International take any steps against him? Or is it too early to say?
I mean, I think, the Gambian people have had 22 years of President Jammeh's rule, and during that time there were many issues. There's many human rights issues. There are many families who still don't know what happened to their loved ones, people who disappeared, people who still are in detention right now, including ministers, journalists. So Gambia will really need a time to think about what is the process for them in terms of truth, justice, reconciliation, and they need time to work out what will happen. Certainly victims want accountability. They are asking for accountability for what happened. But I think that Gambians need a little bit of time. President Jammeh hasn't left the country yet. And so, this has been a very difficult time for them. Over 40,000 Gambians have fled into Senegal. So they will need time to take these steps to address how they move forward in the future.
Sabrina Mahtani, West African researcher, Amnesty International. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.